Hello, friends and enemies. This is Grace from Pinfall from Grace. First of all, gotta let you know I have been sick for like a week, but time is running out before the Rumble, so I wanted to record this now. These are going to be my 2025 Women's Royal Rumble picks. You'll notice up front that I am a big old nerd because when I decided I wanted to do my Women's Royal Rumble picks, I said, what better format than a PowerPoint, because that's what big old nerds do. Uh, as with all of my PLE picks, these are guaranteed to suck. Come at me on Blue Sky because that's where all the cool kids hang out. My tag is there. Just come at me respectfully. I love the discourse. I love the debate. Just be chill about it. Uh, I am a full-ass adult. I do cuss like a sailor, so if you are a kid, this might not be the place for you to hang. That said, let's go. This looks like a calendar, but it's not. It's where we're going to fill in our picks. So, first person I think that's going to come in on the Rumble is the EST of the WWE, Bianca Belair, because you can't spell first without EST. She is the fastest, the quickest, the smartest, the strongest, and the best. I think she has got the stamina to go a long way. I think she's strong. I think she's agile. I think she fills a lot of different roles that you're going to need as the Rumble progresses. I think she is someone that you could viably see going the distance. I know she is hungry to get a belt again, other than the tag belt. So I think number one, we're going to see Bianca. Number two, Bayley. Bayley is the reigning uh, Royal Rumble champion. She won the 2024 Rumble. Uh, Sorry, I told you guys I have been sick. She and Bianca still have a little bit of tension because Bianca hasn't forgotten all the shit that Bayley did to them, or the Damage Control did to them when Bayley was with Damage Control. Bayley's another one, I think, with great stamina, great versatility. She's got a story built in with Bianca that's going to play really well. They're really well matched, and we could conceivably see her go the distance as well. Third person I think we're going to see is the genius of the sky, Io Sky. I love Io. I think Io comes in with a natural tension with Bayley because of the breakup of Damage Control, although strangely, they're kind of both faces now. We saw that in Survivor Series with Io firmly ensconced on the face team. I like Io in the 3 position because she's going to bring a different style. She's going to get some high flying, some more acrobatic stuff going on. So we're going to see a little bit of difference in the 3rd position. 4, I've got Zoe Stark. 1, because I love Zoe Stark. 2, great stamina, another really versatile player. She can be the strong one. She can be the athletic one. She can handle things a couple of different ways. What is the name of her stable? Pure Fusion Collective, the stud line. They have a lot of heat with a lot of people right now, so there's some animosity already built into that. I think we're going to see Zoe in early. I don't know that we're going to see Zoe stay very long, but I think she's definitely going to be in early this year. Number 5, I've got Zarya. If you guys don't know Zarya, she is Australian. She's an NXT. She is a big, strong girl, sort of stylistically kind of in the Rhea Ripley mold, not identical, obviously. I like her in her early because you want to get a big, strong girl in there early to throw some people around. We want to show off some of the NXT ladies. I do believe that the NXT women's division right now is so deep and so strong, and I think we're going to see a lot of NXT ladies in the Rumble this year. I did just hear someone mention that she might be injured, so I could be way off a base really early here. But hopefully, if you guys haven't had a chance to see Zarya yet, you are going to get a chance to see her here. In the 6th spot, I have Isla Dawn, another versatile player with really good stamina. Doesn't really have a lot of heat, with anybody, I don't think the Scottish witches do. I mean, they kind of have a little bit of the heat with a lot of people, but not like really deep story heat. But Isla's just good. She can do pretty much anything you throw at her. She can fit pretty much any role you need her to do. Um, I'm hoping that we see Isla early. I'm hoping that we get to see her show out a little bit in this year's Rumble. Number 7, I have the reigning Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria. I think she's also good in a number of roles. She is surprisingly strong. Um, she looks like she might be a little bitty thing, but she can throw some people around if she needs to. She doesn't have any really strong, ingrained feuds yet, except for one, and we'll talk about that later. I'm hoping maybe she can get something going here, since obviously she's going to be defending her title a lot. We're going to see some storyline develop for her. So I am looking forward to seeing Lyra, the Bird Lady, in the Rumble. Number 8, I have got Naomi coming in. Let's get some glow going on out there. Let her and Eos cook with some of that cool flippy shit that they do. Let the other 6 people out there take a little breather while they do some really cool stuff. Always love to see Naomi. And I think, again, she is going to play a big story part as we move on here. Number 9, I have got Candice LeRae. We need to get her in before Nia, since we know they're going to have some story stuff together. And it also gives those big, strong girls somebody to throw around for a little while. And that is going to be a ton of fun. Number 10, I have got Shayna Baszler coming in. More studline action, please. I like Shayna. I loved NXT Shayna. I would love to see a little bit more of that flavor of Shayna coming out. A little bit more vicious. Would like to see that here. Like to see her play with Zoe a little bit. Let's get some Shayna going on. 11, Blair Davenport. We've not seen a lot of Blair since she's gotten called up. I'm hoping that she hasn't been forgotten and that she's not injured or anything like that. Hoping that she maybe gets a nice slot as a midpoint entrant to show off a little bit. I feel like if you're in the middle, you don't have the pressure of being one of the early people, but you don't get the spotlight of being one of the later people. You have a nice chunk of time where maybe you can get a couple of the spotlight on you a little bit and show off some different moves. So I'm hoping that we get a chance to see Blair. She's really talented, and I think right around the middle of the Rumble would be a great place for her to get to show off some. Number 12, I've got Spicy Ms. P, Piper Niven. Got to get her in there early enough to make sure that the ring is secure for our U.S. champion. Another big girl, somebody else who can throw some people around, do a little damage, make stuff look extra brutal. 13 just felt like the right number for Michin. Don't know why, she felt like a 13 to me. I think Michin could be a sleeper to go pretty deep in the Rumble this year. You'll see I don't have her in my top 5, but I could be very wrong. She could be one to keep an eye on. I would like to be wrong. I would love to see Michin go deep in the Rumble. I think she's fantastic. I think she had a great run at the U.S. Championship. I think she could be a lot of fun to watch in the 2025 Rumble. 14, Lash Legend. After the Meta Girls performance against Bianca and Naomi on NXT just tonight, there is no question that we should be seeing Lash and Jakara, both of the Meta Girls, in the Royal Rumble this year. Lash is going to be a star. Lash is already a star, but with a little more polish, she is going to be a star. And I think that the Rumble is a great place to really start to get more and more people exposed to her. We've already seen her on SmackDown a little bit. I think we're going to see more of her. I think we're also going to see Jakara a little bit later. Love Lash, the bougie bully. You should all know her. Watch out for Lash Legend. 15 is the longest and shortest reigning U.S. Women's title holder of all time. I do the voice, but it would make me cough again, so I'm just going to say Chelsea Green. Usually Chelsea does sort of a kind of a gimmicky stint in the Rumble. She's in and out really quickly. She has something goofy or silly happen. I think there's a possibility that Chelsea stumble fucks her way into really deep in the Rumble, and I don't know how. I don't know if she leaves the ring and we're all supposed to forget that she's actually still in the Rumble. I think we're going to see her go pretty deep. I don't think she's going to win. She's always such a delight, though. Her character work, her ring work, she is the whole package. Number 16, Raquel Rodriguez. Got to get Raquel in there early enough to be able to assist Liv. Raquel is another big, strong girl who can throw some people around if she needs to, but I feel like, at least in this year's Rumble, she's really there as a utility player to assist Liv. I am sorry if this ends up coming across a little disjointed. I have to keep pausing for a cough break because my voice is going very quickly. 17, the Queen, Charlotte Flair. You guys know why 17. 17 is a magical number. I cannot think of any better place for Charlotte to come in. Same place I think we're going to see John Cena come in the Men's Rumble. I was surprised that they announced Charlotte. I thought that they would make that a surprise. I don't know if ticket sales were flagging or they were concerned they weren't going to get enough eyes, so they wanted to pre-announce Charlotte. I thought it was a strange choice, but I think we will almost positively see Charlotte at 17. It will be good to have her back. I'm sure she will have some tricks up her sleeve, and she is going to be strong and ready. 18, Zelina Vega. Just felt like she was a good fit right in the middle of the pack. Speaking of Zelina, I'm really curious to see what direction we're going to go with her now that she's being removed from the LWO and going to SmackDown. Are they going to pair her up with Andrade again? Is she going to be his manager? Is her hubby coming back to WWE? Are they going to have a thing going on? Don't know. We'll see. But for now, I'm going to put Zelina right in the middle of this year's Rumble. 19, Roxanne Perez. This is Roxy's, I want to say, third Rumble appearance. She's kind of become a staple at this point, despite not being on the main roster. I think she will be on the main roster before the draft. I don't think that they're going to wait that long to pull the trigger on her. She's dropped her title in NXT. It feels like she's wrapping up feuds. She and Cora Jade had been tight, and now there's some distance growing between them. It'll be interesting to see what Roxy does in the Rumble this year. She is on the card for NXT Vengeance Day a couple of weeks after the Rumble, so this will not be her definitive call-up. She does still have NXT obligations coming, but I do not think she is long for the NXT world. Number 20, gonna have to watch her, Liv Morgan. I think she's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I think we're going to see her go out a couple of times but not hit the ground, courtesy of Raquel. I think Raquel's going to catch her and keep putting her back in. I don't think Liv has a real strong feud with any of the other women in this year's Rumble. Since Rhea's not going to be in the Rumble, she has light feuds with a lot of people, but nothing really strong. I think Liv's main feud right now is going to be the collapse of Judgment Day and what the fallout is there. Liv's always fun in a Rumble. It'll be good to have her there, change up the pace a little bit from a lot of the big heavy hitters that are going to be going in before her. 21, Jordynne Grace. I don't think it's a surprise anymore that we're going to see Jordynne Grace in the Rumble. She was actually in the Rumble last year. Difference is going to be that this year she's going to be in the Rumble as a WWE superstar. I think she's going to be a really welcome addition to WWE. I think that she is going to last long in the Rumble. Not quite the top 5, could be the top 6. I think we're going to see a really strong move from her. I think we're going to see some really interesting stuff in this Rumble from her and Charlotte, maybe her and Raquel, maybe her and Lash. It's interesting. She definitely plays that strong girl, big strong girl role, but she's not a very big girl. She's sort of a little strong girl. Um, Not super agile, but strong as hell. So I'm going to put her in the early 20s. 22, I've got Ivy Nile. I think Ivy and Jordan came in pretty close to each other last year. Um, Stylistically, both in terms of body type and wrestling style, they're very similar. They play so well off of each other. I think it'll be really fun to have the two of them in there close to each other again this year. 23, I talked about her a little bit earlier, Jakara Jackson, the other meta girl. I wasn't sure if we would get Lash and Jakara, but again, I think after the performance that Jakara and Lash had just today on NXT in the Women's Tag Team Championship match against Bianca and Naomi, I think it would be a mistake to not have Lash and Jakara both there and let them do some of their teamy stuff and let them show out together. 24, Maxine Dupree of the Alpha Babes. She's a fan favorite. People will be really glad to see Maxine. I don't know that Maxine has a whole lot of stamina, so you put her in kind of late, let her do some cool stuff. The fans will eat her up. It's a great experience for her, and I will be really glad to see her. Oh my god, we're down to the last row. 25, Stephanie Vaquer. Vaquer? Vaquer. Have I put in too many NXT girls? Maybe. You know what? Here's a great problem to have. You go back and you look at the Rumbles from 3, 4, 5 years ago, full of legends. Um, and the reason being, it was not very easy to fill a 30-woman roster for the Royal Rumble. We are so blessed with an abundance of fantastic female talent now. What a gift and what a change that is. Stephanie is another NXT talent. She has a great look. She's got a really interesting moveset. I don't know if she's accustomed to performing in front of this many people. I think it'd be really interesting to see her both in the Rumble format and how she does in front of a really, really big audience, because this Rumble is going to be 60, 65,000 people. Maybe I have overfilled with NXT. Maybe that's just wishful thinking on my part. If you are a fan of women's wrestling and you are not watching WWE NXT right now, oh my god, you need to be. So talented, so deep, so beautifully booked. If you looked at a comparison across, 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to see women's matches getting almost equal airtime to men's matches, and a lot of times outshining them. Please, please, if you love women's wrestling, check out NXT on Tuesday nights. 26. Jade Cargill. I think Jade's got some shit to say. I think Jade is going to come in and she's going to point one of her fingers and she is going to say, Jacques, and name her attacker. Is it Bianca? Is it Naomi? I don't know, but I think we're going to find out on Saturday evening. And I think Jade is going to put out whoever that was. I keep vacillating between Bianca and Naomi. I was sure it was Naomi. And right now, I'm sure it's Bianca, so it's probably neither of them, and I'll be blown away. But I do think this should be wrapping up soon, especially as we start to hit the road to WrestleMania. 27, Nia Jax. We have, again, an abundance of big, strong women. We've been seeing a lot of Nia recently. Let her come in a little bit later. Let her come in, be really strong, wreck house for a little bit, get some strong top rope putting of people's outs. There's a better way to put that, I'm sure. She doesn't need to be there the whole time. Let's get some turnover. Let's get Nia in a little bit later. 28. Oh my god, we're in the home stretch. BFAB. You know what? BFAB has been working really, really hard. And if I were to take like a 4 month snapshot and say who is the most improved woman on the roster, I'm probably going to say BFAB. They seem keen to give her some screen time. So you know what? Let BFAB in. Let her come in late, do a couple of cool moves. Let her be a really neat elimination for somebody. I think it's a great experience for her. I think it's great exposure for her. Lets more people get eyes on her. Um, I'm a fan and I'm really excited to see what BFAB can do. 29. I think we're all ready. We're all waiting. And I cannot wait for the pop for the man, Becky Lynch. Boy, have we missed Becky. Um, I was talking earlier about Lyra Valkyria and saying that Lyra has not really had any solid feuds. While I don't know that I would call it a feud, she and Becky had a really fantastic program in NXT before Lyra came up to the main roster. Um, frenemies of a sort. I think that's really the only natural enemy Lyra has right now. I think maybe it's too easy to send Becky after her title already, but I think that we'll probably start there, and then Lyra can get some more enemies, and we can work from there. Boy, is that pop gonna be big. Becky Lynch, Royal Rumble, clock it. So excited. And number 30, I think we're gonna see Natalya at 30. And I think Natalya's gonna be at 30 really as a place of honor for her. 30, someone can get their full entrance in if they want. It gives a little breather for the women that are still in and that are going to go the distance. They've been in, some of them, for almost an hour at this point. Give them some time, let them get a little rest. Let the crowd appreciate and honor Natalya. Not sure how much longer she's got. We've seen her schedule taper off a little bit. I think we're going to see her transition more and more into a coaching role, and by all accounts, she's unnatural and fantastic at that. Really let her have that spotlight as the last entrant to the Rumble this year. I think that's a really fitting tribute to her. There are definitely women that I think could be in that I didn't include. Way too many to mention, but the ones that come to the top of my head, Alba Fire, Kaden Katana, Shotzi, who, if you don't keep up with NXT, has been back now for a couple of weeks. Just in NXT, she looks healthy, she looks strong. She had a great match just tonight for the NXT North American Women's Belt. If we're going to see more NXT people, I think Kalani Jordan or Jada Parker would be good entries. And there's still another 15 women that I haven't even mentioned that we could see show up. I've barely touched TNA. I guess Jordan Grace isn't in TNA anymore, but there is no shortage of good women's talent that we could see in the Royal Rumble this year. So how do I think this is all going to boil up? Well, I think we're going to see these 5 women going the distance. We're going to see Bayley, we're going to see Io, Charlotte, Becky, and Jade. Bayley and Io have that damage control tension. Can they put that aside and form a temporary alliance against one of these other powerhouses? Maybe, but I'm not sure. Bayley, Charlotte, and Becky, 3 of the 4 horsewomen? Yes, please. Let's get them all in there. Jade is coming in, late. I think that's why Jade will still be around. I think we're going to see, boy, I'm going to lock this in now. I think we're going to see Jade put out Bianca. I'm going to go on record on Tuesday, it'll change by Wednesday, and say that I think Bianca is the person that attacked Jade. Jade's going to put Bianca out, and by virtue of having put out one of the possible favorites, she's going to stay here till the final 5. She'll probably be the first one of these 4 women to go, and then we'll have the horsewomen and Io. How do I think it pays out at the end? I think our winner, and I don't think surprising to anybody, is going to be Charlotte Flair this year. I think Charlotte is on the road to break her dad's record, or at least tie her dad's record. I think it's going to be a huge deal when she comes back. Hopefully she comes back strong. She stays healthy. This is not a bad pick. I don't have a problem with this pick. She's not my pick. I would like to see Io Sky win the Rumble. I think that Io is maybe a little bit underappreciated. I don't know if she gets quite as much credit as she could for the great work that she does. She's had great programs with so many people. She plays really well with a lot of people. She's always fun. She's always exciting. She doesn't have bad matches. She elevates everybody around her. So, in my ideal world, we would see Io win, but I think it's going to be Charlotte. That's all I got in my big nerdy PowerPoint for you guys today. I did the women first because it felt more clear-cut to me. I have no idea what's going to happen with the men's Rumble. I will record that later in the week and get that up for you guys, hopefully Thursday or Friday. If you like it, let me know in Blue Sky where I'll have this linked. If you don't like it, let me know in Blue Sky where I'll have this linked. Again, I just ask you to have respectful discourse. I am loving Blue Sky. I'm loving it much more than I was ever loving Twitter. I think it's a lot more respectful. I think people are a lot more chill about thoughts and opinions and sharing and feelings. So come on in, join the convo, say what you gotta say. Look for the men's Rumble layout for later in this week, and I'll catch you later.